What is up, watch friends? Welcome to another episode of Talking Timepieces with Tony. I'm Tony. Appreciate you guys all who like and subscribe and continue to watch my channel. I do appreciate it. I really do. Today we're going to talk about this dude who's suing his authorized Patek AD because he couldn't get his watch that he wanted. Really? All right, man. I got this information the same time just about everyone else did. One of my viewers suggested I do a video on it, and then another person did, and then I was going to, and then I didn't, but here we are. I'm doing it. Better late than never. So let's roll the intro and we'll talk about it.
You're watching Timepieces with Tony. Talking Timepieces with Tony.
All right, so first and foremost, I am wearing my Zenith Pilot El Primero 3-hand. Just have it on the orange rubber strap right now. It's one of my favorite watches. This is, I don't know, man. When I first heard this, it's not like I cringed or anything like that. I was just kind of like, nothing really surprises me anymore with just about anything, especially with what I do, you know. And in this case, it's just one of the most bullshit fucking lawsuits I've ever heard. You know, I'm thinking this guy was probably sheltered as a kid, given everything, been told that no matter what he wants, he can get it, and he's just a spoiled little grown-up is what he is. All right, now, keep in mind, I don't have a copy of the complaint. I could get one, and I could go through the whole lawsuit, but I don't have the time, and nor do I give a shit. So this dude, apparently, this happened up in Northern California, wanted to develop a relationship with his AD, which was, I think, Shreve, is that what they're called? And he spent $200,000 and in hopes to get the rose gold Nautilus. It's a 5980, I think that's what I wrote down. But and he didn't get the Nautilus. Apparently he got you know, he bought other jewelry, and he bought another Patek Philippe, but I don't know. You know, it's hey man, what's happening? Happy Saturday. It's Saturday. Yeah. So sorry about that. So he spent $200,000, and he was told by the AD that he'll get this Nautilus. All right. There's another YouTuber that said, you know, that's all for this. Yeah, I'm glad they sued, and hopefully this will wake people up. And I hope this got wind to Patek Philippe. And I can tell you, for first and foremost, Patek Philippe don't give a shit. And in fact, the president, CEO of Patek Philippe, has actually stated on interview. You can watch this. I don't have a link to it, but where he says, you know, basically, you can't get a Patek Philippe. You can't just walk into an AD and buy one. And you have to develop a history and establish relationships, start with the smaller models and then work your way up. It's just the way of the world, the way it's going. Patek Philippe only make about 50,000, 60,000 watches a year. I am, again, maybe more, maybe less. But the thing is that, you know, even Patek Philippe say, you know, hey, you can't just go in and buy one, and you have to develop the relationship. Here's the thing. We all know, you know, that you can't just go in and buy these watches, whether it's a Rolex or Patek, certain Vacherons, AP, Richard Mille. You know, it's just not doable, all right? It's bitch all you want, complain all you want. That's how it is. I get comments, you know, well, I'm not going to wait, and this is a stupid game, and the Rolex is this, and Rolex is... It's not even Rolex, it's supply and demand. You know what I mean? It's simple as that. You know, and if the ADs are playing games, you know, like where they're holding watches, then that's what they're doing. You know what I mean? You can't change that. I can't change that. You know, it's just, that's the way that it is. It's simple as that. So basically, you can't just, again, buy anything you want when you walk in. I know it sucks, but at the same time, you know, don't cry about it. It's not going to change anything. And if you do go in there and bitch and complain about it, it's just going to make it even worse, and you're never going to get the fucking watch. So my suggestion to you people that are crying about it, upset about it, and don't want to deal with it and buy, you know, like the comments I get, I don't want to buy junk that I don't want. Well, if you don't want it, go on the gray market. Simple as that. Go gray market. saves a whole lot. You know what I mean? You're not gonna have to buy anything else. Chrono 24, here, this is the watch I want. Okay, cool, I wanna buy it, boom. Done deal, right? Stop whining about it. So in this case, this guy spent $200,000, and I guess he bought a Patek Philippe, and he did get a Patek, so he's in line, right? And also, you know, there's no written contract between these two. You know what I mean? Plus, Patek Philippe only make whatever they make per year. Maybe the store wasn't even allocated one of those watches yet. You know, the guy's got to be a little bit more patient. You know, no one forced him to go in there with a gun to his head saying you need to spend $200,000 in order to get this watch. You know what I mean? And if someone said to me that you have to spend $200,000 in order to buy a $100,000 watch, I would just go on the gray market and buy it. You know what I mean? If I wanted a Patek Philippe, I don't have any connection with Patek Philippe authorized dealer in Beverly Hills, so I would know that if I wanted a Patek, I would have to go gray market. Simple as that. I know that. Save me a whole lot of hassle. Don't have to get pissed off and worry about it. So, you know, now what you're doing is you're saying, okay, well, I can't get the watch, and you're crying like a little whiny bitch. Sorry. You file a suit. Now you've got to obtain counsel, which you've done. You've got an attorney now. They have to write up the complaint. Keep in mind, he's the plaintiff, and the Shreve and Co. are the defendants, right? The plaintiff has to bear the burden of proof, saying that Shreve, 100% made it clear that he was going to get this watch after a certain amount of money, and maybe even a certain amount of time. Maybe they, again, it's the not only the amount of money, the amount of time it would take to get this watch. Will it be this year? Will it be next year? Where's that in writing? Do you have that in writing? Because that's one thing you're going to need. 2, you're going to have to find a really sympathetic judge to really sit there and go, look at this as a serious complaint and say, really? This is what you're doing? This is what you're wasting your time on? Our time? The court time? Okay. So it's up to the judge, who's really going to have pity on someone who spent $200,000 on merchandise and can't get a $109,000 watch? I mean, okay, dude, I don't know. This is another thing too. The bottom line is, for the most part now at this point, you're not going to get the Patek from Shreve and Company, and more than likely word's going to get out who you are, what you've done, and you will never get that watch from any AD. So you're going to have to get it on the gray market, So now, not only did you spend the $200,000 that you didn't want to spend in the first place, or maybe you did, I don't know, you got a Patek out of it, okay. Now you're spending attorneys aren't cheap for this type of thing. Now you're spending the money on the attorney. Now you want to go to court, and this thing could get wrapped up for years if it went into litigation or whatever. It could go on for a long time. Cut your losses, go on the gray market, get your watch, and shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? Because essentially, it's the biggest first world problem I've ever seen. I mean, there's so much more in this world. Anyway, again, I'm kind of ranting, but it's really what it is. It's like, people are getting tired of the ADs. People are getting tired of, yeah, they are. I understand that. And people can sit there and go, well, you get your watches, I get Rolex, and I get, yeah, but if I didn't, I would still go somewhere else. You know what I mean? It's not like, I bought Rolex on the gray market before I bought them new, but when I was buying them new, there was none of this problem that everyone's having with the ADs and things like that. But at the same time, just realize that this is where we are in this world, and I've said it a million times that if you don't like it and you don't want to buy other brands and you're just that much into Rolex, I mean, are you really into Rolex that much, or is it the hype that got you all sucked up into it? Because telling me that I don't want any other brand except Rolex, really? That's it, the end all? Okay, fair enough, and that's your prerogative too. All right, so having said that, the AD's done nothing wrong. You know what I mean? If they told him that we're going to get you this watch, and they didn't get it in the time frame, look, that's not up to the AD. The AD can't just sit there and place an order to Patek and say, this is what I want. they'll get allocated that watch once that watch gets allocated by Patek Philippe to them. Once it gets allocated to them, then it's up to the AD to distribute that watch however they want to do it. That's just the way it is. There's been plenty of times when I've asked Juan for a certain watch and it didn't come in or whatever, and it's but again, it's just. I just think it's ridiculous, and it's gotten so out of hand with this, you know what I mean? All the people that are haters on it, it's not going to change anything. Keep hating and keep doing whatever it is you're doing that makes you upset about why it is the way it is. You can't change it. Granted, it's getting easier to get certain models, it's doing something. The market's doing something. But by complaining about it, it's not going to change. You know what I mean? Simple as that. It's just the way it is, and I'm sorry I keep harping it and keep saying it, but it is what it is. So having said that, I'd like to hear your thoughts. I, again, don't think anything's going to come of this lawsuit, and some of the YouTubers that think this is a great idea, or hopefully they'll get justice for this. What justice is there? Spending even that much more money and wasting people's times to go to court just to try to prove a point, when in actual fact you're suing a company that's been around for 100 years or whatever it's been, and I don't know. I think they're a big company. I think they might have a little more money than you, but they might not. I don't know. I don't know who this guy is. Either way, having said that, I'm only doing this video because a couple of people asked me to do it. I was going to scrap it and not do it. So, don't hate the player, hate the game, or the middleman. You know what I mean? I'm not the guy, trying to defend everything. And I'm certainly not trying to defend all the ADs, because I know there are some shady ADs out there and sales reps and everything else. I understand that too. I lucked out. I'm cool. But, at the same time, I do understand it. I understand both sides, believe it or not. Some people think I'm just so one-sided, and I'm not. You know what I mean? I'm an investigator. I have to look at both sides, everything equally, and then make a decision. So, having said that, all right, this has gone on too long already. All right, you guys it's Saturday. Have a great 4th of July.